teammate, trades for his captain, but the positioning is actually going to catch him completely off guard with where Alexi is stood. Artist wraps around there to get the frag, and Chow and Diggs are able to sort of clear up whoever else is there, including Ember, the last player alive. Despite gets planted for a little bit more money for PartyParrots, but it wasn't needed. They just got the frags and were able to sort of pull up ahead. In regards to team comps, both of these tend to play it very simple, very slow. Shao is very much a fan of the Sova on Bind, but does like to pick up a little bit of Raze, but really is the only person on this PartyParrots lineup that changes their composition really at all. Angel, I think, has picked up, or started to at least pick up a little bit more Omen as of recently, but he's very much an Omen Brimstone IGL through and through. The defense now having guns are going to want to hold this a lot better. The rotation is going to come in. The breach player, the team captain of Fake, going to help out when needed. He's ready to go with the fault line. Sees a couple of bodies, and I think even gets in a chunk of damage yet to SSK. Must have been a headshot because you saw the spark fly off his head. Nothing really happening as of yet. It's now going to be Angel clearing these angles one by one, trying to work out where exactly the defenders are holding. Diggs trying to put a bit more pressure onto them, and Angel is having to pick so many angles. Has his teammate to follow up if he needs to trade, but isn't quite sure where the Cypher is, and he's going to be looking across. The wall is an awkward one, but it doesn't really get the kill onto Alexi. But it does save Angel, I guess, to an extent, who is able to get the kill onto Embo. Is caught up around, and now all four of the defenders left on the site are going to try and retake from the CT position. Alexi's going to make his way back to the wall, either break it or wait for it to go, but those smokes are going to last a long time, and time is really not on the side now. Too good for LAN if they want to stop this retake happening. Positioning is aggressive for PartyParrots. They're holding on to this, and they're not really holding angles like this Aftershock is trying to force out. I mean, look how aggressive Angel's playing, trying to peek it, but now they're starting to rush onto the site. The man advantage is now falling to the defenders, but Artis gets quite a lot done. SSK from distance. There might be enough time for Sin to get the defuse in. He's the last one alive. Yeah, should have enough time. Narrowly, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. A half a second, maybe, that he needed more. 3-0 to the PartyParrots. Too Good for LAN are a team that have consistently done well in a lot of these EU tournaments, although they've never won one. And Angel is going to make sure that seems to happen as he gets the first frag onto a Raze with her ultimate. Replin is taken out completely, and even SSK's getting in on the action towards the B site. It's only Alexi that just manages to sneak out with a stinger to get a kill and trade for his teammate, but they're still a few men behind. Majority of the fight is happening over now onto the A site. It seems that Fake does have the Marshal. Trying to take shots from distance, but it's going to be really difficult to retake this. PartyParrots know that. That's why they went in relatively quickly before any rotation could come in. Seems like it's going to be played for exit frags, potentially for Too Good for LAN. They're not expected to be able to retake this one down, and the death of Fake is going to put things definitely more into the favour of Too Good for LAN. Alexi is about to walk right into Dinks, who just dinks him on the noggin, gets that frag. And this could be a very quick game if Too Good for LAN are not careful. interested with Too Good for Land that they're Silverless on this map?
Yes.
Guess it's the use of the breach that seems almost unnecessary in that comp. Because the raise you always want, certainly on Bind. Doom Bros, by the way, is the head coach, or co-head coach, I guess it would be, for Fabrican. We were talking a lot about the Sageless compositions. But for these things that these teams aren't necessarily running. And Fabrican being a team that didn't get out of groups. In fact, 2G4L were the ones that knocked him out of it. This could have very much been a Fabrican versus PartyParrots semi-final, which was the final for the Wave tournament that happened earlier this week. PartyParrots won it narrowly. But I honestly think if we do see this team in the final, it might not even be close. SSK gets a couple, but Fake is able to trade for his lineup, throws out the Rolling Thunder, but unfortunately Artist is going to punish that positioning, and it's all up to Sin now. This is a buy round for Too Good for Land. So this is, you know, money that's been lost, and now the Operator's still in play, and Artist still gets that shot. So that's an expensive Operator, something that PartyParrots just don't really use. They don't have an Operator player as such, unless they're playing maybe a particular map like Ascent where they might want to pick up the double op strategy because it's so strong, but really, PartyParrots are just a bunch of riflers. You could understand why. They've certainly got Counter-Strike in their blood. You can tell from the way that they play. And also because their mechanics are just that good. Replin actually on the half buy round gets the first kill now onto Angel. Angel with the orbital strike available again. There is a resurrect, and that is something I would expect the Artist would use. Hunter's Fury is going to be used on the aggressive. It kills Sind. It has opened up stuff now. The rest not even necessary. I think they're just going for it. Actually, no, never mind. There it is. It's a bit late. They've created a bit of space, but that orbital strike is something that Ember is going to use. Very much a dedicated counter to getting that. Nevertheless, the majority of PartyParrots that are still alive are still enveloped onto the site. An ultimate dedicated to bring back Angel, an ultimate dedicated in order to kill him. Shao, and from distance, kills all of the three defenders that were still alive. This is a reckoning so far that we're seeing out of PartyParrots.
Yes.
Really not too much to say now. We can have a look at the scoreboard right now and see that SSK is the top fragger, 9-4. Really, it's too early to make sense of all this. The difference between kills is kind of impressive on certainly the PartyParrots side. They're making their way in onto Hookah. You can see that there is a double peak holding towards B long. Really not all that much happening at this second. Both teams trying to decide how they kind of want to play this at least. There's going to be this double peak on B. The execute was going to go into onto A, but Replin is the first to get a frag with the Operator. Notice that there is a Sage there too, but they've all gone through the teleporter, so that showstopper is going to find absolutely nothing. It's actually going to be an execute onto the B site, and Embo catches off Diggs, who was pushing through long. The spray is awkward, but the majority of PartyParrots are the ones that are dying. Spike has not been planted yet. It has to be awkward to pick up. Embo is going to hold his ground though onto the site. It's going to make things really awkward. And that's going to be the first round for Too Good for Lan that are able to take it on bind. I had to use quite a lot to stop it though. The showstopper didn't catch any targets, but then again, we also did see the ultimate Rolling Thunder coming out on the attackers just to try and catch anybody off sight. So the double peak hold on Gardens was actually kind of effective from Too Good for Lan. His strategy worked, but if you are PartyParrots, you don't really need to worry all that much. The money is still going to be pretty good. Think's now picking up the operator for the first time in a while. And it feels like it could be game on from now. Grappling with the operator has been certainly more effective. Knows that there's people now out onto the site, so a lot of utility gets thrown. He's not afraid to aggressively peek this, but he misses his shots onto SSK. Dinks is going to cover him from distance. The operator's got its sights on Heaven, an area where Embo is wanting to peek gradually, but has a lot to cover. In fact, the Silver's going to spot him out completely, and I think this might be yet another save now for Too Good for Lan, which makes sense because these attacks have been very explosive. PartyParrots like to get really close to the site. This was something that Doombros told me. They like to get really close to the site. And this is really effective to, I guess, both compositions with or without a Sage, really. You get really close to the site and then explode onto it. And there's no time to react, to put down the wall, to put down the slow. Now it's just a hunting pie to try and find out exactly where the Brimstone is. The spike has been deployed and Embo was alive, but Shao waiting on the other side of the door gets that frag, punishes Too Good for Lan's economy even further.
Revealing area. There they are. Shot done. Revealing area. Revealing area. They found my wire.
Yeah, I had to mute chat. I was having like a coughing fit. My drink went down the wrong pipe. I tried to like observe as much as I could, but yeah, it's a. You can tell my voice is a bit sore from it now, but we're good. We're good. You just saw how like brutal PartyParrots have been playing, like just chasing up the economy and. What I wanted to show, this is why I went to this big cam, but these executes are really good. This is something that Dubros told me, that PartyParrots play really close, and then they just explode onto the site. They get the frags, their utility gets used, and just look how easy it is. Like, they haven't pushed onto the site as aggressively as before. Now they're starting to, now that they're getting the frags. It's just they get to about here or here. They throw out the Molotovs and stuff into corners, they execute, and there's no way for something like a Sage to respond. They don't try and, you know, throw the smokes from here, or throw the smokes from here, and then move out. They're here. Their faces are to the walls of the site. Was I really quiet? Stat analyze, dude, bros. There is a bit of a delay, so you gotta bear with me there. Of course, there's a delay, because it's a tournament, right? Actually, look at the position that the Replin's in. He sort of moved all the way around and cut them out entirely. I'm looking at the wrong player completely. He is going to be put under some pressure. Tries to blast pack in the face of SSK, but it really does get that much damage done. Anytime I see two good for line win, it's because Replin gets 30 frags. I mean, this isn't really a high fragging game, but it could be over as a 13-1, so you're not... I don't think that's physically possible to get a 30 bomb in a 13-round game. Well, no, it is. You just get 3 kills every single time. Even on the runs that you lose, near enough. Neural Theft is now used on the attack, and it's a hunting party now to try and work out exactly where Alexei is going to be. 11-1 though, what a half. Why is in-game sound so low? It should be. I can turn it up a tad, but... It's a 1v1 actually. Really isn't going to be too much trouble for Diggs to take the kill on. A lot of damage done by Replin. Had to play aggressively, had to use the ultimate. Could only do so much, but still 11-1 at half time. I can't have been muted for that long. Let me know when you hear me again, because I genuinely don't know. I don't know how much the delay is. I think it's 3 minutes, so... We can double check. Chat, I'm going to say Marco and you're going to say Polo. Marco. Let's see how long this delay is. But it's now defending time. For PartyParrots, thinks is like nowhere to be seen. It says that he's on the attacking team, but he's not. There we go. Has to completely back off. This is near enough being a perfect game for the attackers. There's a bit of pressure sort of put everywhere. Angel is the first to get a kill and has disappeared completely off the A site. And right now, Replin's just in a battle from distance with a ghost, but can't get any damage done. I think Dinks, quite rightly, is just sitting this one back. They don't need to take that engagement. They've already got a kill. Too good for Lana on the back ropes. Not sure who plays as a spectator bug. I assume so too, because it was Replin yesterday that had that problem. Spray is good from Angel. The teleporter play is going to be something that pulls out for Too Good for Lab. But this is a big bait. And I don't know if they know, but like Angel spotted the spike, so they know that they're coming back. Angel's going to get stunned. I don't know why he looked away, but I mean... Oh dear. Poor Too Good for LAN. I like the strategy debate around, but it was just a shame that Angel saw the spike and then it's kind of like, oh, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen now. No one say Polo, guys, Kappa. I just heard something then. But match point for PartyParrots. 13-1 would be a strong message to send in the first semi-final, that's for sure. We had about 5 rounds, that's not too bad. The most important thing is that you see it, you know? I think because I have been solo casting this, I have been not talking for full length of rounds anyway, so... There's a strong chance I'll be on the final tonight too. Shao getting a 4K though. He's going to try and get the spray in. PartyParrots looking dominant. Have 1 foot in the grand finals later on today. And probably one of the most dominant performances we've seen out of the whole tournament, even from the group stages. 13-1 on bind. And you could just see that some members of Too Good for LAN just weren't able to get much done. Because it was such a short game, the kills don't really feel indicative of anything in particular. But you look at Angel's 5 first bloods, you start to see things working for that round. But yeah, nice try, Too Good for LAN. I don't think that this is something that's out of their hands necessarily. But it was them that picked this, it was them that picked bind. I think that's certainly worth noting. We will be good to split next. A map, I think, that could cause a few surprises. But remember the dominant performance that PartyParrots had yesterday against Fishworld 2-3. But oh dear. Oh dear. Great if you're a PartyParrots fan. Not too good if you're a Finnish Battalion fan of Too Good for LAN. But we are going to take a quick break. 1-0 now to the CIS squad. And yeah, I'm super impressed with how this is going. We still have the other semi-final later on today. Started from CS versus Prodigy, being in a few hours from now. We still have this game to finish, so we're going to